Most people think we have a free will, and that's the mistake, the big mistake. And because of that thinking, they think they are responsible, and that's why there is proud, guilt, selfishness, whatever. Because of the fact that we think we can do what we want. You can never do what you might think you can do what you want, but you could never want what you want. That's all the following stream. This is happening, and of course then that's happening. It's not our doing, it's life. Suppose a writer writes a book, and he writes a man is walking in the forest. Can this man walk out of the forest? There you are. Of course not. He is written by the writer, and he walks in the forest. He cannot even get out of the book because he does not exist. It is ink on paper. It is the mind of the writer that makes the figure walk. Well, this is easy to understand. Now, a wider consciousness makes us see that we are written by God to walk on earth. God is imagining the earth, and he is imagining you walking on the earth. Can you turn around? If God makes you walk that side, that way, can you walk that way? As a person, you are so used to do what you think that you say, oh yes, I just have to turn around and I go that way. No, it's not possible unless the God in you makes you turn around. Most people, they cannot follow this. They say, just stand up and I turn around. No, it's depending on the Spirit of God who placed you on earth and who played that you are walking that way. You are like the man in the book who is ink on paper. You are printed in the mind of God, an impression. And the impression can never do otherwise than follow the instructions of the one who is making him up. We are imagined in the mind of God, in the Spirit, and the Spirit makes us walk that way in his film, in his play. We can never go the other way. If you see that, you are as free as can be. Nothing can harm you because you don't exist. You cannot come out of the imagination of God. You cannot get off the earth. You cannot go the other way if he decides you have to go that way. There's only one solution: to wake up and see that you are the one imagining all. You are not the person that walks around. Just like you are not the man in the book in the forest. That's ink on paper. And you are printed in the mind of God. And by experiencing all adventures on earth, you can finally, as long as you think you are the doer, you can finally get on your knees and say, I can take no more. I surrender. And then you start to understand the whole play is nothing but the play in the mind of God. And when you understand that, you are the one that is making it up. Not as you see yourself like this, not as the figure or the human, but as the one big spirit. And you return to your peace and emptiness. There is only silence, and silence cannot know silence until there is movement. So it starts to imagine that it moves. It does not move. It's imagination. But in the imagination, everything is possible. It's the dream of God, or the movement of the silence, the imagined movement. And it ends up that you are walking on earth. It's just imagination. You are not walking on earth. But as long as you feel and think that you do, well, it will end. But you cannot end it. Only see that you are not real, and that will end the dream. You will stop walking, or you will go on walking. It doesn't matter if you imagine more or nothing more. It's just a play, and you are both the player as the figure that is moved around. That's the happiness. Only after being moved around, after all the adventures, you can enjoy the silence that you are. The immense happiness. Oh, I was not that one there. I was not that one that was so unhappy and that lost the way and that had to struggle. I was not that one. It was just my own imagination. Oh my goodness. I am free. I was free as the one who was walking there, and I am free as the one who is making myself up. Only freedom, happiness.